fellow animator, I'm Zen. Today I want to show you a cool technique that simplified my animation process by a lot. How to hide different parts of mesh in the rig. Of course, there are rigs that already have the meshes separate built, which is very easy to hide. Like in these rigs, you can just simply press button H on and off, toggle it, and you can hide and unhide mesh. However, most of the rigs online are not like that, right? You have a solid mesh. So let's take one of those meshes and try to hide your arms. I already did this with Thomas. As you can see, his arms can be hidden and you can animate him without those limbs. Let me show you how I did it. On the other rig, we take Mickey here. So, number one thing that you're gonna face is that you cannot select the mesh. That's number one problem we're gonna resolve. At Thomas, it's already resolved. As you can see, I can click on the mesh. Let's go to Mickey and try to resolve this problem. We need to find his transform group, or it's going to be called geo group, or depending on the rig, so you can just click and find it. Let's go find his geo body, it's called usually. Yes, this is the body parts, right? So if I'm like, okay, I selected it, let's try to click on faces. No, it still does not select. So number one issue you might face when you try to select a mesh is that it's just unselectable. So how do we fix that? It has to be selected on here, because remember, we cannot select here. We select from the outliner. We go to our attribute editor. You can find object display, and you can scroll down to drawing overrides. Very important. Object display, drawing overrides, enable overrides. The moment you click enable overrides, you will see this difference. And now you can click faces. Now all you need to do is select exactly as much as you need mesh. You can hold Control Shift like this, and then if you want to deselect something, it is Control. Yes, like this. So you can deselect the loops that you don't need, or you can have more. It depends on you what mesh you can hide. You can do exactly the same for a head or for any other body part. So let me do like this for now. I feel like, yeah, that's even. Oh no, let me just add this one. There you go. Select it. Okay, we selected. What can we do now? We can just press H and it disappears. However, right, you see the problem here. If this is how we're going to select it each time, it's going to be too troublesome. Press H again, it appears again. So what we can do here is create something called Quick Set Select. We go to our button Create here and we find something called Sets. Quick Select Set. Click here and we can call it M. I'll put M because I'm too lazy to type. Arms. And remember this, please click Add to the shelf. When it adds to the shelf, there you go, we got it to our shelf. It's very easy to toggle on and off. Of course, you have this all additional meshes, right? You can find them here. It depends on your rig, not always you will have this additional meshes. Let's just clean them up. The finger, foot, knee, leaves, tail, there's something else is missing, hand, right, there you go. So what you can do, you can go now here and hide them in display layer, or you can create another quick set select and also have them each button, but I prefer display layer. So this way, now you can click again on our shelf, press H, and our arms disappear. You can do the same way. If you don't like the controllers as well, you can go. Now change this. Remember, this button is very important. This is to not be able to select the controllers. This one is not to be able to select mesh. Very basic buttons, very useful to know. So I'll make sure I cannot select mesh first. And then I will select this and maybe add another one. You can rename them into extras, save, and this could be controls. Save, done. There you go. Now you can animate your character without having any extra mesh. And I also want to add few additional things just in case when you use this method something goes wrong, and so you won't be afraid using it. Number one thing is that when you hide your mesh, you might forget to create the quick select. You get distracted or something and suddenly you realize you lost your mesh. You did not. you can click on the mesh again, and you can press Shift H, and all the mesh gonna pop back up. No matter how much you hit, even if you hit the entire mesh, it will still pop back up. Shift H will bring any hidden mesh back. Number 2, so you did not forget to create your set. You went to create sets, quick select set. You said head Mickey, for example. But instead of pressing add to the shelf, you accidentally pressed OK. Where is your select set now? Very easy. It is under the select button, under the quick select sets, head Mickey. So if you just click on it, it will select the mesh, but you want it to be back to your shelf. So what you can do is quick select set, hold Shift and Control together, and click on it again. It will appear on your shelf, whichever shelf is open at the moment. You can also find them all here. Everything you created, see, arm Mickey, see, also works exactly the same way in Outliner. Maybe some of you will prefer use Outliner for this. I don't know. I personally don't. But also, this is the way you can delete it. So for example, if I delete it here, I no longer can use it. See, Maya does not find it. So if you delete this from the Outliner, you delete the quick select set. Maybe you by accident create too many. Now you know where to find and how to delete them. And the additional part for the animbot lovers. Face, same process. We go selected. We can add head here. Mickey, green color, of course. And we can create the same parts for the mesh. Now you might wonder why I don't do this two together. That's because when you select the mesh and you select parts of the mesh, right, it doesn't toggle together properly. I have no idea why. I tried many times. It just doesn't work. However, why I like it more is that if you missed a mesh, even a piece of mesh or like a polygon, you can always add it. Let me show you how. So as you can see here and here, when I hide, I left out these guys. So you can select them, just simply add here, hide. Ta-da! You can do it together. Now, controllers you cannot add like this. Controllers I always have to go to display layer because controllers are part of the rig, so they will not be able to be toggled. So you always, if you want to hide controllers, you can only hide them in a display layer. There is no other way around it. But like this, you can hide and unhide. By the way, even if you try to select them two together and try to hide, you're still gonna get this weird problem. I have no idea why. Again, shame on you, Maya, for like having different toggle thing. Like you can try to press Shift and Control. Like for example, if I press Control H, they all hide. But if you press Shift and H, it doesn't hide it back. I don't know how it works, but Maya, whatever. So this is the way. I use this method a lot in my splining and even blocking, especially when it's a complex body mechanic. Why? Is because it will help you to focus on the body and on the weight without being distracted by arms or face. Especially juniors, I feel like they tend to spend a lot of time on things that doesn't matter, because all the weight and timing will come from your body, not from other parts. And you need to get your animation clean and clear with just the body, and then you can only add everything else. If you don't have it, your animation has a problem. You need to focus on the body animation, and this method is been working like a magic for me for several years already. So please tell me if you used it and how it helps you. Tell me if there is any more questions to this method, so you can comment, ask me anything. And thanks for watching. If you like this, subscribe. I'm gonna make videos once a month because I'm a full-time animator and I don't always have time for this, but I'll try to keep it up. Your likes will help it, of course. And have a great day and stay healthy, animator.